Good afternoon, all of you, and thank you for accepting us. The room is full, and that is very much in line with education. I think we have about almost 30 agencies by now, or more. And if you look at the history, we've done 40% of the national budget before, and yet it's still not enough. And with good reason, you know. This is a visit that maybe we should have done earlier, but there are so many things as they keep engaging us, and that explains why it's taken a little bit of time. We did it at a time when the ministers were in Parliament, so our schedule has been impacted that way. So we are very, very happy that today we've been able to make this visit. For me and for Alberta too, it's a kind of homecoming because it's coming to a very, very familiar territory. I can remember some of the places, but I also know that others have joined, and that's the way it should be. So welcome all of you. I have no doubt that everyone is doing the best they can for ourselves, at least for our young learners, so that the best in them can also come out. You referred to one or two of the initiatives in the past. We were very concerned at that time that at almost every corner in Accra those days, you find signs of remedial classes. So we did our research to find out exactly what's happening. And WAEC was very, very supportive, giving us all the data from the 60s, working our way out to see what really is the issue. Why is it that our children are having difficulty with these subjects, and what we could do? So that led to some of those interventions on that we can go back to them. In terms of the new universities and so on, we made that promise in our manifesto. We are going to operationalize them. Our interest is not only the numbers, it's also to ensure that we can diversify the tertiary space and fill them. And you can see that is why we did the Eastern University the way we did. And that is also part of the reason why we did the status of the polytechnics with technical universities. It wasn't a joke. It was a lot of hard work. And I think here is the time I need to commend people like Dr. Christina Mwakunwama, who had all the patience with us doing the human audits, equipment audits, curricula, all kinds of work. And I was assuring the minister that the steps that lead to the postgraduate programs still remain. So we have not, some people thought that we had thrown away the polytechnics and now we are doing university. That's not the case. We didn't think it was right to tell anyone that, oh, you are studying a technical subject, the highest an HND. We thought that wasn't fair. If the person has the talent, has the interest to go further, why can't the person go? So we created the space for people to fly as high as they go, and to have the government itself packing, their wings. I thought that was wrong, and that was also not with our own economic development, because it's about the quality of the human resource that will drive that economy. And so if you don't train them to the highest level, it means that you have decided that you are not going to go further. And we didn't think that was the way to go. I hear you on discipline. I think that one is everybody's responsibility. We raise them in the homes. We speak a certain way that sometimes makes our young people feel that it's okay. So we all need to be mindful and support them to know that a certain behavior is not very helpful, even to yourself as an individual, going forward. As to a young person going to a class with a cutlass, I don't know. I know we are going to do a grape and all of that, but I don't think that is why they are going with a cutlass. And how about the gun? Are they going hunting? None of that is helpful. To damage yourself, damage other people. That's what a school, is meant for. It's a place where you can share ideas. It's a place where you can agree, you can disagree. There's nothing wrong with it. All of these help your mind to open. So it's not about force, it's not about yelling, it's not about a loud voice, it's not about brawn. So we need to help them to understand. And we also need to support the teachers. And the teachers themselves also need to be supported in how they can dispense discipline. So there'll be peace and quiet in a learning environment. And yes, we have operationalized the no-fee stress policy, and we are very, very happy about it. And we were also the one who looked at the student loan plus. We brought in the plus for a good reason. Those of us had a bit of experience and knowing that some students would gain admission all right, but in order to qualify for student loan, you ought to have registered. And we saw that some would not even have the means to register, let alone qualify. So we created the plus to ensure that if you had your letter of admission, we will support you to register. And I remember those days, I was saying that we'll deduct the money from the loan because we didn't want people to abuse the system. But we never did that. And if you know President Mahama, he's always very compassionate, and he will ensure that if the person already doesn't have even enough money to register, there's a problem. So going to deduct money was neither here nor there. Now if you've gone a step further, has no stress. There's the Get Fund people who are we are hoping that as we go forward, we'll be able to do proper means testing to support. There are some who need 2-3 times the amount so that people will be properly supported and they can learn in peace. So we are very in terms of the funding, as I said, we never have enough. And whether we are setting up a fund or not, it's the same, isn't it? From which we are going to create the fund. Therefore, we may want to envisage a time where the pot is big, the pie is big. Actually, the pie should be so big that even if you have 10%, it's okay. So as a country and as an economy, we have a lot of work to do. And I have no doubt that all of us will put our hands to the wheel and ensure that we are building a very, very stable country for all of us. And that is where the sustainability hopefully should be. So I just want to end my comments now. Thank all of you. I know there may be challenges with the agencies, but it's very important that we see each in the other. Let us collapse the silos. Let us learn to work together. There's so much talent in almost every agency that we can learn from, we can share. And I want to urge all of us that we learn from each other, we share our expertise, and that will the results are positive for all of us. And that's what matters most. I know you are doing a school placement, and you have all kinds of people besieging, if not your offices, your homes, your phones, and all of them. What can we do? Let's just try very politely to explain the situation. What we try to do is to create more A schools. with the e-blocks. And that's one of my to implement all of it, to run the whole system to demonstrate that yes, all A schools, and it doesn't matter whether they are boarding or D, but the rest they say is history. From where we are, and with everybody's support, we'll do the best we can. Thank you all very much.